Hi, I'm Simon, and today we're talking about 5 quick tips about using the Canon C200. Number 1, wide dynamic range. Rather than shooting a standard profile, you can use wide dynamic range to squeeze a little bit of extra dynamic range into your image, but still have an image that you can deliver to a client that requires little to no grading. Now, it's really tempting to use Canon log or C-log all the time, but in quick turnaround scenarios where you don't have the time for a grade or you're delivering the footage straight to the client, I'd suggest shooting wide dynamic range. So number 2, assigning track focus to one of the assignable buttons. Track focus is really useful, especially on slider shots or any kind of panning shots or any shots where there's a small amount of motion. To use track focus, you need to assign it to one of the assignable buttons. And this can be easily done in the menu system. Investing in CFast cards. If you want to get the full potential out of the camera and use the cinema raw light, you're going to need a lot of CFast cards. 120GB CFast card will get you about 15 minutes worth of footage. So for a full day shoot, depending on what you're shooting, you're going to need a lot of cards. Number 4, autofocus. Now, the autofocus on this camera is great and a really useful tool. But I found when shooting too shallow, it doesn't quite make those micro adjustments to keep the eyes sharp. So the only way that I found to get around this so far is just closing down that aperture a stop or two and just allowing a bit deeper depth of field. And number 5, controlling the camera from your web browser. You can set up a Wi-Fi network from the camera, which allows you to connect to the camera and control it with any device that has a web browser. And that allows you to control the camera or monitor the image. You can change things like ND, ISO, frame rates, even focus. This is really useful, for example, when the camera may be up high and is unreachable, or in a scenario where you need to be away from the camera but still be able to control it and get a rough idea of the image that you're getting. Now, the refresh rate of the image is not good enough to pull focus or to do any actual camera work with, but it will still give you an idea of what the camera's recording. So just some quick tips there from me about using the Canon C200. I hope you found those useful, and I'll see you in the next video.